Good morning, everybody. I'm Knives on Mars, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bob Lum Chinese folder, affectionately referred to as the Bob Lum Chinese fighter. This is the C65S model, S denoting the serrations on the very broad leaf-like shaped blade. And those serrations are just so sharp. I cannot begin to explain to you guys how sharp and fast this knife is. It was like all of these knives. It was just built with a certain intention, and it's a very traditionalist style knife that was brought to us by the late Bob Lum. I believe he passed away in 2007 or 2008, so forgive me for not knowing that date, but he obviously no longer is designing knives, so his legacy lives on in these beautiful knives that he created with Spyderco. This being one of my absolute favorites, no doubt about it. It has an overall length of just over 7 inches and a closed length of just over 4 inches, both roughly 3 millimeter blade thickness. It snaps open with just an absolute authority. You know I love that. I love my fast knives. This knife is just fast, fast, fast. The steel on this knife is VG10. You're not going to see a lot of knives now. Well, you will see knives that are still produced in VG10, but back in 2007, 2006, when this knife was being created, VG10 was pretty much the alloy of choice. Now, with all the alien tech that's out, I mean, VG10 has fallen by the wayside with far superior steels. But for its time and place, it absolutely served the market. You've got an edge length of just shy of 3 inches and a weight of a little bit less than 2.6 ounces. This knife is very light and very, very thin. I think some models might have came in the ZDP 189, but this one happens to be, like I said, the VG10, and it was produced and manufactured in Siki City, Japan, which was consistently producing Spydercos there for a period in time. I love this knife. On the flash side, you're going to see Bob Lum's insignia. I'm glad that I own an original Bob Lum design. And then on some knives, you'll see a serial edition, but on this one, it doesn't seem to have it. There aren't a lot of brick and mortar stores here in Las Vegas. I bought this from a gal who shall remain nameless. Her knife shop has fallen by the wayside. Older generation, brick and mortar, cutlery shop. She now runs it out of her house, and she just lets folks in. You make an appointment, you walk into her home. She prefers cash. I rolled in there with a fat wad of cash and picked out a handful of knives, this being one of them. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to have it, because I was thereby holding an absolute piece of history in my hand. It's got aluminum scales. Naturally, with the broad leaf shape like design, I went with the green. In my opinion, it's the most desirable color. There are other colors out there in many different palettes, pink, black, gray, you name it. They're out there. Don't quote me on the gray, but I know I've seen it before. But the green being the most natural to me, especially with this design in mind. This knife is freaking awesome. The throw is fantastic. The serrations are absolutely humiliating. I mean, it's just going to leave somebody jagged and open if you had to use this in a personal defense scenario. And what I like about the ergonomics is that no matter how you hold the knife, the blade is always forward of the surface of your knuckles. So it doesn't matter if you're holding it traditionally or if you're holding it in reverse grip, the blade just always sits a tick forward of the plane of your knuckles, And even if you weren't trying to deliver such a humiliating slash to any potential assailant, you would still give them a nice little nick, provided that your throw was controlled enough. I mean, we're not out here trying to cut and slash everything that stands before us, but you know, it's good to know that you can if you had to. And particularly out here in the Southwest, it's not even the human assailant that I'm concerned about. It's the it's the pack of coyotes while you're walking your small dog. It's the wild boar that you might encounter when you're out shooting. You know, who knows? I have no idea. But there's always a time and a place for a knife, whether or not you're cutting up steaks or cutting up whatever it is you want to cut up, dare I say. This is the Bob Lum, Spyderco Bob Lum Chinese folder, affectionately referred to as the Chinese fighter. It's fast, it's sharp, it's absolutely nasty, it's hard to find. If you do find it, and you find yourself so inclined, go get one, because this man is not around anymore, and people that are selling these are just making awful decisions as far as I'm concerned. I'd rather be an owner of one of these knives than a seller of one of these knives. Just a cool, unique piece of knife history to have in your hands. Obviously, Mr. Lum is no longer with us. Rest in peace, my friend. This is a knife that you have left, and it's definitely a legacy to the Lum family name. Everything is very, very well thought out with this knife, and it's one of my absolute favorites. So, with that being said, I'm Knives on Mars. If you happen to find one of these knives, I've seen them go for, $2.99, maybe a little bit less than that, plus or minus, all the way up to $400 or $500, maybe even $600 in some cases, depending on the circumstance. Go get you one, especially if you're an enthusiast. I try to keep this one as clean as I possibly can. I don't use it for any extraneous bullshit here and there. This is specifically carried in my pocket if I ever have to draw down. And my God, it would be hard to stitch that person up or that that thing up that you use this against, because it is menacing, it's mean, it's light, it's fast, and it's sharp. I'm Knives on Mars. I started off about 11 months ago as a hobbyist in the YouTube community. Less than 100 views, no likes, no subscribers. Fast forward 11 months, and I'm at nearly 18,000 likes, 62 subscribers, multiple shares. So I just wanted to take the time to thank everybody that's given me the time of day. I'd like to keep that energy up and keep on going. So I appreciate you. If you like the content that you've seen in this video, please like and subscribe, throw a share out there, get me into that algorithm. One of these days I'd like to retire from the 9-to-5, and if I do it properly, perhaps I can focus my life on my true enjoyment, which is edged weaponry. If you have any comments, shoot them my way. I love chatting with people, and until then, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you later.